Forever with you. Lin, wait for me. The sound of gunfire ripped through the air. Blood splattered on the floor, smearing the picture of the girl who had just died. Some people screamed, terrified at this scene. All made the funeral more sad, melancholy. That person was lying in a pool of blood, with a satisfied smile on his mouth looking up at the pretty girl in the worship photo. 5 years ago. Today is a photo shoot to promote the spring-summer collection of a famous fashion group in the country. Phuong was fortunate to be accepted as a photographer for this event. She is extremely excited, seeing this as a very good opportunity for her to improve herself. A little introduction to Phuong. She has a delicate face, short hair, cool personality. If you don't look closely, everyone will think Phuong is a boy. This tomboy girl everywhere is noticed by others because of her excellent appearance. Phuong is a freelance photographer. Her photography skills are very good, having won many major awards. She likes to shoot fashion shoots for major magazines. Luckily, her friend introduced her to this photo shoot. Today's main model is Lin. The girl has a good-looking, photogenic, and sexy body. She is a promising young model, was invited by many major fashion magazines to take photos. Lin is fixing her clothes and hair to prepare for the photo shoot. The first time she met Lin here, Phuong was fascinated by Lin's beauty. Phuong couldn't take her eyes off Lin, passionate about taking impressive photo shoots. Lin is beautiful, wearing fashionable, stylish clothes, posing extremely well, with a different charisma from others. Charming eyes, radiant smile made Phuong's heart flutter, her heart throbbed with a strange feeling. As for Lin, she was especially impressed with this boy's cool boy appearance, mistaking Phuong for a male, a little embarrassed when she saw Phuong staring at her intently every time she took pictures. The two work well together, creating beautiful photos that are hard to resist. After the photo session, Lin ran over to talk to Phuong, expressing her interest in her photography ability. Lin is open, friendly, approachable, smiled brightly. That smile made Phuong embarrassed and confused. After a while, she and Lin talked freely with each other. From that day on, the two kept in regular contact. Phuong and Lin often text messages to talk about work and life. Lin is quite humorous and approachable, and Phuong is calm. The two of them talked in harmony and got along well with each other. Since meeting Lin, Phuong has understood what it feels like to love someone. Lin's beautiful, lovely face kept clinging to Phuong's mind, and Lin's youthful, sunny smile made her heart beat faster. Phuong was the first to actively text and ask Lin. She considers this an indispensable habit of hers. Every time I talk to Lin, she always feels cheerful and happy. The two also have coffee dates together. Lin always feels comfortable and happy, and she loves talking with Phuong. She considers Phuong a peaceful, warm and reliable friend. The relationship of the two became closer since Phuong moved to work in the same company with Lin. Phuong is Lin's personal photographer. The two of them went to many places to take pictures together. Lin and Phuong always understand each other at work, so the photos they take have a special impression. The two of them stick together like a figure with a shadow. When Lin is tired and has a crush on her when she goes away to take pictures, Phuong is always there to take care of her. Phuong's eyes looking at Lin are always affectionate, hiding love in them. They joke around and share their joys with each other. Lin is humorous, often teasing Phuong. Phuong talks more, and always smiles when she is with Lin. Lin often thinks of Phuong as a warm, sincere son. She was confused and moved when Phuong tenderly cared and looked at her with passionate eyes. Gradually, she understood what her feelings for Phuong were. Lin is humorous, often teasing Phuong. Phuong talks more, and always smiles when she is with Lin. Lin often thinks of Phuong as a warm, sincere son. She was confused and moved when Phuong tenderly cared and looked at her with passionate eyes. Gradually, she understood what her feelings for Phuong were. Lin is humorous, often teasing Phuong. Phuong talks more, and always smiles when she is with Lin. Lin often thinks of Phuong as a warm, sincere son. She was confused and moved when Phuong tenderly cared and looked at her with passionate eyes. Gradually, she understood what her feelings for Phuong were. That afternoon, it was suddenly pouring rain when Phuong and Linh were on their way home. Because they didn't wear raincoats, the two of them got wet. They rushed to take shelter on the porch. Phuong bought 2 bags of baked sweet potatoes from a nearby car and ate with Linh while watching the rain. The falling raindrops create a romantic scene, making hearts clench. Phuong stroked Linh's soft hair. Her eyes looked at Linh more affectionately than ever. She placed a hot kiss of love on Linh's forehead, softly saying, "Be my lover." Linh's breathing was fast, her heart was beating faster, her cheeks were pink and lovely. She nodded in agreement. Phuong wrapped her arms around Linh. 2 hearts warm each other with love in the cold rain. Phuong and Linh have been in love for a long time. At Linh's side, Phuong plays the role of a son who cares, and pampers her. Linh likes to lean on Phuong's reliable shoulder and cuddle. She likes the feeling of being loved and pampered that Phuong brings. Together, they explore new lands, take many beautiful photos, and have fun dates. On Valentine's Day that year, Phuong took Linh to the Valley of Love in Dalat. Here, the two took a lot of photos to keep each other's happy moments. They walk on the path of love filled with flowers. Linh held Phuong's hand and went up Phuong Can Hill, surrounded by green pine trees. They laughed and joked happily. In the afternoon sunlight, Linh's face became sharper. Linh's smile was as beautiful as an angel, making Phuong stunned and ecstatic. Phuong ran to hug Linh, the first and only daughter to help Phuong understand love. They sat leaning against each other in front of the guest house and enjoyed the quiet and poetic night scenery here. Phuong caressed Linh's soft hair, emitting a special scent that Phuong would never forget. She intertwines her fingers in Linh's hand, her heart throbbing with indescribable love. Linh rests her head on Phuong's shoulder, enjoying the feeling of sweetness, safety, and peace. Phuong asked her softly, "In the future, will you betray me to get married?" Linh grimaced and said, "Listening to you say you're going to get married, my heart hurts like this." In fact, Linh also experienced 3 or 4 quick love affairs until she met this girl. The same-sex relationship with Phuong is special, bringing her happy emotions that she did not know before. Linh loves Phuong because Phuong is a man who loves her sincerely, caring, and listened to her. Linh thought her relationship with Phuong would be strong, and she would no longer be moved by anyone else. They stayed together despite the objections of the people around them. In the sky, bright stars sparkled as if smiling at their love. In the distance, the pine trees swayed towards them and made a sad sound like a signal of breakup and separation. Because distance makes people silent, or because silence creates distance. A beautiful love is broken when there exists a gap between 2 people that cannot be bridged because of indifference and indifference. And Linh is the one who broke the beautiful love affair with Phuong. Linh suddenly became cold and distant when she was near Phuong. They no longer have fun hanging out like before. Linh avoided Phuong's eyes, and was shy and indifferent to her. Phuong was very uncomfortable and in so much pain that it was difficult to breathe every time she saw Linh. She quit her job, went somewhere to help her forget about this girl. However, she could not erase Linh's face in her mind. She was both hurt and angry at the girl who betrayed and accidentally put all her feelings in Phuong. She buried herself in the depths of love, letting the pain gnaw at her heart. Their relationship broke down because Linh was moved by another boy. He is the son of a close acquaintance of Linh's mother, named Phuong. She met Phuong in the meeting that her mother prepared. When she first saw Phuong, Linh was captivated by his charming masculine beauty. She was shy, her eyes red, her heart racing. After that day, she and Phuong were dating back and forth. Phuong is handsome, rich, his sharp eyes hypnotize the opposite person. He has gestures, affection, gallantry when he is with Linh. Almost every time Linh remembers Phuong, throbbing with feelings of anxiety and excitement. She accepted his confession, and the two shared a passionate kiss. She loves Phuong, and wants to be his wife. Phuong is the one who can cover, care, and give her a truly happy life. Lin has forgotten the word will be with Phuong forever, erase the previous beautiful feelings with this girl. Maybe it's just a temporary, fleeting vibration of an impulsive, immature youth. Lin has let go of the love she shouldn't have with Phuong, but her previous memories are still kept. Phuong and Lin sat next to each other, both of them were silent, kept their distance and turned away instead of saying goodbye. Their sweet, pure, memorable love affair for 3 years ended quickly. Time is the magic potion that heals all wounds of love. Phuong has regained her spirit, cheerful and enthusiastic as before. She worked hard and achieved new success. She lives alone, no longer knows the feeling of fluttering with anyone else. Phuong still keeps in touch with Lin, asking her about her current life. Lin and Phuong have been married for 2 years. Lin said that Phuong loved and spoiled her, giving her a comfortable and full life. He also helped Lin's family in business. Lin often brags to Phuong about her perfect married life. Occasionally, Lin invites Phuong to dinner with her family. When she saw Lin's happy smile blooming on her face and Phuong's loving gaze, Phuong felt happy. She secretly wished Lin was always happy and happy like this. Phuong's love and beautiful memories with Lin still exist in a deep corner of Phuong's soul. Therefore, after many years, she was still lonely, and will be alone forever. That day, Lin made an appointment to meet Phuong. After a while she cut off contact with Phuong. Unlike previous times, Phuong panicked when she saw Lin's red, swollen eyes and sad face. Lin hugged her face and cried in Phuong's lap, choking saying, "Phuong, I'm in so much pain." "Phuong, he's a bastard." Lin recalled that recently, when Phuong learned that Lin could not have children with him because she had infertility, he became angry, scowling, and cold. Moreover, Phuong encountered a failure at work, so he became more and more upset and acted violently with her. Every night he goes to the beer club, hangs out with the girls. At one point, Phuong took prostitutes home and injecting drugs in his room. Every time he had a temper tantrum, he cursed, beat, tortured her. The past few days have been a series of days of pain and humiliation. The happy smile is gone, instead were bitter tears. She had to regularly take medication to treat depression, but her condition got worse and worse. Lin fears depression will engulf her. To this day, Phuong takes her home to whisper and beat her brutally. Lin was scared, the pain was unbearable, she ran out of that hell house. Phuong cried and hugged Lin in her arms, her heart aching each time. Lin chose the wrong path full of thorns, which she thought was peaceful and happy. The only person who still loves, next to Lin, is Phuong. Phuong grabbed Lin's hand and led her away from this place. The two of them went to Phuong Can Hill. Phuong was able to take care of Lin in the small house before. Phuong wiped away Lin's tears and applied medicine to the bruise on her body. Phuong led Lin to the colorful flower path she liked, taking beautiful pictures for her. Lin is no longer the innocent, cheerful and vivacious girl like before, but now, she is quiet, her eyes are always filled with endless sadness. The two of them sat with their heads together on the hill when the sunset fell. The night scene here is still romantic and quiet, with the green pine trees covered with the dim light of the moon. The cold air makes people's hearts constrict. Phuong wrapped her arms around Lin in her arms, knitted her long slender fingers into Lin's hand, and whispered to her to tell jokes she had gathered to make Lin happier. Lin looked up at Phuong, she smiled gratefully, and received Phuong's burning kiss. Lin was wrapped in the sweet taste of love that she had lost so far. However, she could not be selfish and betray to hurt Phuong again. She left, leaving a letter with a few lines written for Phuong. "Phuong, I'm going back to Saigon." Phuong sent a message to apologize, regret what he did and beg him to come back. "I still remember, still love Phuong. I can't let go of him even though my heart hurts a lot. Thank you for taking care of me these past few days. Our relationship should only stop at the level of friends. You will always be my best friend. Don't be sad, go find your own happiness. Goodbye." In the end, Phuong could not hold on to that girl's hand. Despite the pain and hurt, she continued to walk on the thorny path. In love, a woman always the man unknowingly and heartlessly left the bloody scars of the whip on their hearts, but they still loved and returned to that man. Sat down, sadly reading the words Lin wrote. Since that day, Lin no longer contacted Phuong. Phuong feels worried and insecure. A week later, she heard that Phuong was murdered by Phuong when he was in a fit of rage. Phuong died very tragically, the body was not complete. The police are currently looking for Phuong. Phuong panicked and cried like a psychopath. She gritted her teeth, wanting to find and kill that damned man. She collapsed, the pain was so bad that she couldn't breathe. She often dreams of Lin. Lin wore a pure white shirt, looked at her and smiled. She hugged and squeezed Lin, but she disappeared. Phuong is in pain, despair. Phuong's life is now dark, melancholy, and melancholy patches. The nostalgia for Lin kept clinging to her, making Phuong suffocated, secretive, and then Phuong made a decision. That day was Lin's funeral. The house was filled with tragic white mourning. Relatives and friends all mourn for the girl whose fate is so cruel. Everyone's heart hurts like hell. Phuong came and placed a basket of white orchids on Lin's altar. Her eyes were watery when looking at Lin's photo. She stepped back and slowly pulled out a gun pointed at her head and pulled the trigger. "Lin, wait for me." The sound of gunfire ripped through the air. Blood splattered on the floor, smearing the picture of the girl who had just died. Some people screamed, terrified at this scene. All made the funeral more sad, melancholy. That person was lying in a pool of blood, with a satisfied smile on his mouth looking up at the pretty girl in the worship photo. "I wait for the sun, I wait for you. People don't love me, they don't love me, they don't love me, they don't love me." Is a gentle music like the deep sadness of Truck Nan. The ballad melody sounded from the phone, the sounds were so familiar. The song is quiet and gentle, but there's a moment of throbbing in the heart. One-sided love is sad, isn't it? I remember you, the girl I loved for almost 4 years. They call me Sunshine. Because of her smile, her talking eyes, her contagious voice, all of them are like rays of sunshine. You are my warm sunshine, the rays of the sun illuminate every corner of my heart in the 4 seasons, making it dance. However, sometimes, you still exist in the form of sad clouds, covering my heart. I love you, but you don't know, or pretend you don't know? I'm reminiscing about the days so far away. In 10th grade, the two were in the same class. Actually, Sunny and I have known each other since we were in middle school, but to me, at that time, she was just like girls of the same age. With you, maybe I'm just as pale. But the beauty of a girl, you cannot judge when she is young. Sunshine of level 1, level 2 is naughty, disruptive, and can be said to be violent. But Sunshine of high school is gentle and shy. At that time, the homeroom teacher arranged me and Sunny to sit next to each other. I was amazed at you, and seemed to forget Sunny of middle school. At the beginning of the year, I was only impressed with your cuteness. But over time, that all seems to change. You rarely talk to me, if you do, it's just a question. But that's not why I don't like you. You are a mixture of gentle and mischievous, shy and sly. You're adorable. You are my first love. I remember one time, when I took the literature test, neither my brother nor I studied at all. Because I had to save myself, I floated. Fortunately, the teacher didn't watch too closely, so I made it through. But when I looked at her, she was confused and the test paper was still blank. I did not hesitate to give my work to her to copy. At that time, both of them got high marks. The next day, the sun gave me a smile, which I will probably never forget for the rest of my life. She put a small candy in my hand, as a thank you gift for helping me. And since then, this boy's heart officially fluttered before him. You and I have become much closer. She talked to me more, from her family to studying, and I understood her better. Sometimes, I even help her, when it's a candy, when it's a bag of cakes. Don't understand that I'm a nice guy. Because simply, when giving you like that, you bring out your sunny smile as my reward. Every time I come home from school, because her house and I are in the same direction, we often ride bicycles in parallel, and when I am on duty, I also help her. Really, you're so cute, that every time I face you, my heart can't stop being shy. Sometimes he stutters in front of me. Because of such closeness, sometimes friends still tease. At that time, her face turned red, and I couldn't stop explaining. You see, on the surface you may appear angry, saying no, but in your heart at those times, really satisfied. Until one dinner, it was already April, she sent me a text. It took me a while to figure it out. This is Sunny's Facebook account. She just casually asked about tomorrow's homework, then asked me to give a lecture. I was expecting more than that, I was waiting for your attention. Then everything lasted until 11th grade, me and Sunny no longer sat next to each other. I thought, what's wrong with being different, we're close. But the truth is, I was wrong. At that time, we were like strangers, in other words, sitting in the same room as if we were far away. She did not bother to ask me anything anymore, because around her at that time there were many friends. I was just a machine asking for homework. Even at those times, I just wish you said something to me, just a little bit. Even if it's just boring homework. I've wished for that 1,000 times, but I can't get it. That's when I turned into an idiot. In class, I find ways to talk to her, sometimes to provoke or just ask questions. In class, my eyes only focused on her. What makes me look so pretty? My friends also made fun of me, thinking of looking at people to tear their face and skin. You not only appear in my mind during the day, but also in my sleep, you are still there. I'm always looking for every opportunity, from texting to following you everywhere. But there were times when I realized, you, the ray of sunshine in my heart, may never have felt anything. Am I looking for an opportunity, or am I looking for a vague, meaningless thing? Things lasted until the summer of 11, and nothing got better. One evening, I don't know if I'm awake or in a trance, fumbling with my phone and texting her, I like you. The me at that time was ashamed to apparate, my face was red. Then 20 minutes later, I answered. A rather long text message, mixed with sadness and tearing my heart. Yes, I can feel that, you don't need to say it. But it's just, I'm so sorry for you. Feeling so unfair? I've also just lost my heart, I'm in a lot of pain, please comfort me. What is this? I read and reread it hundreds of times, and got back an infinite sadness. Well, I know everything, but I pretend I don't. And I'm an idiot chasing a distant dream. Smiling bitterly, I unplugged the phone, returned the darkness to the room, and let the darkness invade my soul. Then until the opening day of year 12, Sunny and I met face to face. At first, it seemed like she was going to hide, but then, for some reason, she hugged me. What were my feelings at that time? Are you pitying someone like me? I don't know, I just find myself in a trance, or overwhelmed by the beautiful taste of love. The girl I wish for every night is here. Since then, you and I have become close like a picture with a shadow. When it's time to play, you or I will buy some candy or water for the other person. In class, they chatted on scraps of paper. When I left, it was also you, walking beside me along the way back. Yes, just that much, my whole mind was occupied by you. Only that much, the boy knows how happy love is. A little love, it feels like a lifetime. However, between me and the sun, there is nothing really wavering. I don't know how to describe it, it's just, there's something missing, something like a gap between us. The void was thought to be invisible, but clearly existed. I have never held your hand, never said a word of love, even though in my heart, love is superfluous. I do not understand. That void exists, as deep as a wall. But never mind, above all, I'm with you. 24 hours of my day are you. Even if the sun is out during the day, at night, the rays of the sun from you still shine in my heart, warm. That midway continued, calling love is a bit lacking in love. Call it nothing, it's not even. It's really vague. I hate being with you in such a vague way. I was expecting something bigger than that. Then what comes will come. In the midst of that uncomfortable ambiguity, she tore it up with a text message, not only long, but lingering from it that would last for the rest of my life. I thought I could not let go. Hi, how are you? It's really not a big deal, I just want to confirm the relationship, that kind of drawing a line. I consider you my best friend, a very good friend, always by my side, and protect me. I'm grateful for that, thank you. It's just that, between friends and love, the distance between the two is not great, but obviously yes, you know that right? I have to confirm so, if it doesn't take long, I know you will be in pain. Yesterday, my ex just said that she wants to get back with me. I just don't want him to be jealous, so I hope you can understand me, thank you very much. That night, something was disappearing. Something broke that night. Yes, my heart is melting like a sponge. Well, that wobble is real. Well, it's funny how my love is a bandage for you, to heal the loneliness, the emptiness when no one is around. I am the replacement brick in the castle of your love for him. I don't mean anything special to you. Sunshine, you don't know how my heart is made of love. You don't know, my heart is now dark, because there is no glimmer of sunlight. Many nights, I was so sad that I wanted to cry. I can't sleep forever, because the ray of sunshine in my heart suddenly disappears, letting the darkness flow freely, unable to stop it. You and I are two parallel lines, no matter how close to each other, but intersecting is impossible. Maybe, you and I just go together, a little bit, on a road. I took another step forward. As for me, I don't know how strong I am to come out of the brokenness. Back to reality, I'm a freshman in engineering. School, or work, there is not much pressure. Sometimes, looking back at old memories, I suddenly find myself standing far away from it. Sometimes I want to touch my hand, but I can't. The middle of the day sometimes still creates waves in my heart, I still have not forgotten. But then you will forget, right? Maybe, and no. I'm waiting for that day.